Hey everybody, Tony Gohard here for the Punk Rock Cook, and today we are getting into doing a chicken tikka masala. This is going to be a very long process, so I'm going to be recording it in bits. First I'm going to go over, well obviously the first thing we're going to do is go over the ingredients. If I could just pull up this list, because I have everything in front of me, minus the chicken that's in the fridge. I want to keep that one nice and cool. But 5 pounds of chicken. It says bone-in chicken, but I'm going to be using already deboned chicken breast. I think that's probably going to be easier. Also, I don't have a tandoori, so I'm just going to make this. I'm just going to cook the chicken regular. So I'm just going to end up baking it in the oven like normal, and then I will be, doing all of the other steps on here. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be making the sauce essentially. And we'll cross every bridge as we get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. And also, I think this thing is a little off-center. Didn't make too much of a difference. Alright, so yeah, the chicken in the fridge. You're going to need ground cumin, which I have right here. 3 tablespoons of ground cumin. 3 tablespoons of toasted paprika. I'm just going to use regular paprika. I don't have toasted. 2 tablespoons of ground coriander seed. We actually had to go out and get coriander because we didn't have any. Coriander is expensive. It's more expensive than I was expecting. And to top it off, they didn't have it in the cheap brand. I had to get the gourmet version. Let's see. 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric. Got a turmeric right here. Nice little jar, and then I've got some backup up there in case I need more. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which is right here. My nice little fancy cayenne pepper. And then now we're going to start getting into the vegetables, which I got all right here. It's just all over the place. 12 cloves of garlic. I wasn't sure what a clove was until I looked it up, so I got 12 bulbs of garlic, which is way more than what I need. The clove is the individual little bits. All of the cloves together make the bulb, and if I would have known that, I wouldn't have had to get so much. 3 tablespoons of ginger. Got the ginger right here. 2 cups of yogurt. Pretty sure this is enough. This says kosher salt, but I'm just going to use regular iodized salt. 4 tablespoons of butter or ghee. That is also in the fridge. You know what butter looks like. What else? 1 large onion, thinly sliced. Got a large onion, and it shall be sliced soon enough. 28-ounce can of peeled tomatoes, rough mash. So I've got the tomatoes here. Haven't opened it, but I'm gonna mash it up. Let's see. Half cup of rough chopped cilantro leaves. Little tongue twister. Got the cilantro right here. I'll chop that up when I get to it. And 1 cup of heavy cream. So I've got my heavy whipping cream right here. So all of these ingredients together are gonna make a delicious, delicious tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna look through this, figure out which steps I'm gonna be doing first, and then just get this ball rolling, because this is gonna take like all day. I think the marinating alone takes about 4 hours at the least. So I'm gonna jump on that and gather up some stuff, and then we'll get started. Okay. Oof. That was a lot of stuff. I was not expecting it to be that much. And actually I don't know why this thing keeps moving. That's about as even as I'm gonna be able to get it. I'm trying to steady it and keep it straight, but it's gonna move. Anyways, yeah, that took way longer than I thought. For the grating, because the garlic and the ginger, all of that had to be grated by hand. My grater is already inside the sink, but it did have to get grated by hand, and that took forever. It was 8 cloves. Yeah, 8 cloves of garlic. I'm assuming that the other ones are going to come into play later. But 8 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of ginger. So I got that. It's all ground up in here. I'm going to try to not spill it. Yeah, and the salt is also in there. A quarter cup of salt, 2 ounces of salt. So that's in there. All of the spices that I had said initially in the beginning, all of that goes into a bowl. It gets mixed up together. There's no real special way to do it. The only thing that doesn't go in is the salt. The salt comes in here. All the rest is in here. It's all stirred up, exactly the measurements that I had said. But after you mix it up, you are going to take out 2 tablespoons of the mixture after it's finally mixed. So not 2 tablespoons, 3. So this is 3 tablespoons here. We're putting that aside. This is actually going to go in here with the ginger, salt, and garlic. Yeah, we're just going to dump that right in there. Actually, it's probably more satisfying to watch it happen. You know what? I'm just going to tilt the camera down so that way you can get a gooder point of view. And of course this thing, my tripod is being finicky. Trying to get it more in frame. Yeah, there we go. So then yeah, we just drop that in there. Also, you're going to need, how much is this? 4 ounces of lemon juice. Took about 4 lemons, I think. Yeah, it was 4. It was just a little bit more than enough. So that's good either way. We've got that. Let's see. Ginger, garlic, lemon juice, yogurt. I have this container of yogurt. Well, you can't see it. This container of yogurt is 32 ounces, and we need 2 cups of yogurt, so it's going to be half of this container. So I'm going to scoop that out and also look at these other directions in here. I think that's the last thing I need for this bit. Yeah, yogurt, salt is already in there. So if I could just get this thing open. Where are you? Okay, so half of this container will just go straight in there. That's a little bit more than half, but whatever. So we drop that right in there, and then bam. I don't have a whisk, so I'm going to do this with a fork. This is going to take a while, so I am going to be mixing that. But before we continue on to the next part, time to get in on some shameless self-promotion. Try not to step on Ghost. She's directly under the table. And this thing is off-center again. So, things I need you to do. Get in the comments. Let me know what's up. Let me know if you've tried this before. If there's other crazy long food experiments that you want to see me attempt. Because this is going to take forever. I'm out of breath already just grating all those ingredients. Actually, I should be stirring while I'm talking. So, yeah, do that. Hit the subscribe button. Be subscribed so that you can see the videos. And hit notifications. That way you know when new stuff happens. Also, I'm going to need you to ring the bell, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, because Patreon helps me to be able to get stuff for ingredients, various other equipment, not just on this channel, but across all my channels. And you'll get your name on the end card of the video. And not just videos on this channel, videos on all of my channels. So your name will be all over the place. You'll also get a link to a special Patreon-only live stream that I'll start doing. That I'll just put straight out on Patreon, and then if anybody is on Patreon, I believe you will get a notification. I think it comes straight through whenever I put something up. So do all of those things. Also check out the social medias, all the other jazz, cool stuff like that. So yeah, do that. I'm going to keep stirring this. Immediately after I finish stirring this, I'm going to grab the chicken and drop it straight in here. You need to cut the chicken into like bite-sized chunks. If you're using whole bone-in chicken, debone it. Or I don't know if you debone it before or after cooking, but at some point it's going to get deboned. I'm just going to keep on mixing this up. chop up the chicken, drop it in, and then this is going to hang out in the fridge for about 4 to 8 hours, somewhere around there. It's 1:42 right now, and that grating took a long time. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'll start recording when I get to the next steps. I believe the next steps are going to be something about melting the butter, probably the butter and the onions or something, sauteing, I don't know. But I'll be back with that. Alright, time has passed. It hasn't been the full 4 hours. I am going to be doing this a little bit early. Again, I'm trying to speed run this whole thing so that we can get it done. Next directions. Meanwhile, heat butter or ghee in large Dutch oven, which actually gives me a chance to try out the new little toy that my wife bought me. She had actually got me a cookware set, and this was one of the items in it. And for the longest time, I always thought that a Dutch oven was essentially like a crock pot. It was its own thing. I didn't think that it was a stovetop thing. But this is a Dutch oven. So we're going to be doing this in this. And this is the very first time using it. This is this Dutch oven's maiden voyage. So we are going to heat the butter, which I have right here. I don't remember the exact amount. I'm going to have to run back and check that out. And then we're going to add onions, garlic, and ginger as well. Let me go and grab that so I can show you what that looks like. I open the fridge and all I smell is this because it's so extremely aromatic and it is amazing. I just love that scent. This is the onions right here, and on this side I almost dropped it. I had to grate this inside this little container with my grater. This side is garlic, this side is ginger. So that's 4 tablespoons of garlic and 2 tablespoons of ginger. That's what the recipe says. I think I may have done it more of like a 50-50 kind of thing with the ginger and garlic. It's going to be totally fine. Let me see what else this thing says. Alright, so the butter is going to go on first. It's going to heat up until the foaming and bubbling stops. Then I'm going to add in the garlic and ginger. We're going to add those. Oh, as well as the onions. All of this is going to go on at the same time. After the butter stops bubbling, we're just going to cook that and stir it frequently until it begins to darken and char in spots, about 10 minutes. So around 10 minutes, we're going to have this stuff heating up after the butter heats up initially. So that's what's going to happen. And then we're going to add the spice mixture and cook, stirring frequently until fragrant, about 30 seconds. The spice mixture is this. You should remember that I had pulled out, I believe, 3 tablespoons of the spice mixture that the chicken is currently sitting in. This is going to get put in with this. So that's going to be nice. Add in tomatoes and half cilantro, scraping up brown bits from bottom with spoon. I'm assuming that that's like a flavor thing. There is, I don't know what it is about some foods, but like when you just like scrape the stuff on the bottom that just crusts on and then you mix it in with the rest of it, it just tastes so much better. I don't know what it is, and there's probably a scientific term for it, but it is amazingly good. So yeah, do that, simmer for 15 minutes, then puree with hand blender or transferring to tabletop blender, which actually, let me go and get that because that is also a new toy that my wife bought me. Okay, just imagine that it's all put together. I had it in pieces because we used it for the first time to make margaritas, and then I cleaned it and separated all the pieces because I want to keep it good, because this is, I don't know if you can hear that, but this is glass. This is a very good blender. Normally we get the plastic ones. I've told the story before. I burnt out one of the previous blenders that we had, one of the plastic ones, when I was making a Jack in the Box copycat recipe, and I had to blend the meat, and it just burned it out. I didn't even, that was the initial point where I was blending it, and it burned out. So this is going to be a good blender. Just imagine it's all put together and it looks nice. And it does look nice. It works awesome. So I'm going to be doing that, cutting up the stuff, blending it, all of that good stuff. So I'll come back as that happens, and I'll show you the end result of that part before the chicken and everything else gets put together. Alright, so things are happening a little bit different than what it says on the recipe. I think it may be because I use, we have gas here. We don't use electric, so we have gas appliances. And this stuff is already starting to char on the bottom. It's just the butter. I haven't even added in the other stuff. So you're going to see me add that stuff in because I highly doubt that this foaming is going to stop anytime soon. So let's see. Onions. I've got the onions. I'm going to just kind of crumble those in. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear that, but I love that sound whenever onions or garlic or anything hits a pan and it just starts to sizzle a little bit. So here we go. I can put this down now. I couldn't put it down because I have a wooden table, and I really don't want to mess that up any further than I already have. There's been a couple times where I took food out and I just immediately put it down on the wooden table, and then it made this nasty looking white spot on the table, which totally sucks. And here we go. This is garlic and onion. We're going to pop those in there. I'm just going to scrape this down real quick. Yeah, try and get every little bit of that. I'm doing it over medium heat. It said medium high, but I was just doing it over medium heat, and it still ended up burning. So if you are working with gas equipment, you might want to do the same, and not necessarily speed it up, but just keep an eye on it, you know. So I'm gonna heat this stuff up for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, I'm gonna drop this bad boy in there, and then you know, stir all of that stuff up for about 30 seconds is what the thing says. Again, time may vary. Not only are we working with gas equipment, we are also really high up. We came from Houston, which is below sea level, and this place, Albuquerque, is above sea level. So things are going to get a little bit more different. So I'm going to go and pop this on there, and I will be back. Alright, before I added the cream, I just decided to hurry up and do this part because this looks awesome. And I've got my phone upside down so I can't read. Alright, so everything's already been put in. It's already been mixed up. All of that stuff is good. The tomatoes are actually in here, which I need to heat up a little bit longer. Simmer 15 minutes, then puree. I'm about to be doing that right now, but I decided to quickly... Ooh, damn, that is good. Show this off because this looks amazingly good. You see that? All those nice colors all together. I'm trying to make sure I'm not spilling it out the other side. But all those delicious colors all put together, nice and steamy. I'm going to go and drop that in the blender and blend it up. After I blend it up, ooh, I lost my place in the recipe, which may or may not be good. Yeah, blend it, puree, etc., etc. Then I'm going to be stirring in the cream and remaining quarter cup of lemon juice, which I have not squeezed. I'm going to go and do that right now because I was not expecting that. Season to taste with salt, then set aside until chicken is cooked. So this is the thing that I'm going to do that's different. The chicken is cut up. It's already been hanging out. It's been marinating for hours and hours. I'm just going to drop the chicken straight into the Dutch oven. I assume there is enough space in here for all of the chicken, but I'm just going to leave it in the Dutch oven for a while. I will probably leave it in there for 45 minutes to an hour. Then I'm going to cut it open, take a look and see if it's good. If it's still raw, I'm just going to throw it back in there. Right now I'm running it on high. I'm going to drop it down to medium. So we're going to blend this up. Once everything's blended, I'm going to toss the chicken in and the other ingredients. And yeah, we're going to see how it goes from there. Also, another note, this calls for naan and rice. I don't have naan. I do have tortillas, obviously. Got plenty of tortillas, so we're going to be doing that instead. Although, I do want to get naan bread. The last time I got it, though, it was molded before I even got it home. I showed up home, fire roasted naan, and it was molded. And it was before the expiration date. So, not going to get into that. We're going to get into this. So, I'll be back in just a second. Alright, here we go. We are completely finished. The food has finished cooking. You can see all the steam coming up off of that. Amazingly good. Deliciously orange. You can see the drips right up here of the sauce. It came out super saucy. So saucy that I had to put some of the sauce into another pot. Again, that was a 4-quart pot that I was making that in, and I still had to put stuff into another pot. So, this is what it looks like. I have, again, the bam, right there. The greens to top onto that. And then I have, again, like I said, I don't have naan bread, naan bread, however it's pronounced. I do have tortillas, which is a very good substitute. So I'm just going to scoop this on into there, and then we will take a bite, and I'll let you know how this tastes. As far as I know, this is going to be good. The scent is amazing. It is like it just filled up the entire home, and it smells great. I like Middle Eastern food, so I think that it smells great. Some people might think that it smells a bit intense or pungent, but it's good for me. And I'm not feeling too good right now either, so being a little bit sick, this much aromatics is going to clear up my nose. So here we go. And yeah, I'm going to do it a little bit different than most people would do traditionally, because I assume that you would eat it off a plate, etc., but I'm going to do it in a burrito, because burritos are delicious. They are awesome, and they are handheld, magnificent deliciousness. So, here we go.
Just because she's things we should ignore, that she's poor, that she's a woman, things we should not ignore, the fact that she said it was a blue fire-breathing demon. Because that's silly. The stories were circulated around town, but it wasn't
there we go.
An official report with the police and being written off as hysterical.
I like the flavors mix. Man, that is good. This is extremely good. Look at that. One single bite. I am sold. The fresh cilantro, totally awesome. All the flavors that mix together. If I would have taken longer to do this, like if I would have done this over a 2-day period, this would have been unbelievable. But yeah, this is great. So, make it yourself. It is awesome. It is amazing. It is easy to make, aside from the fact that it takes so unbelievably long. Do those things. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Drop a comment in the comment box. Let me know what's up. Check out the Patreon. all that good stuff. And you can find me on various social medias.
The terror of London.
And I'll be around. I'll catch you in the next
It
video.
wasn't until January